guys, Tom61, and today we have a review of the all-new Tier 7 campaign ship, the Sommers, the American destroyer that's essentially a Shimakaze. Now on PC, the Sommers is a Tier 10 ship. They've managed to shrink it down to Tier 7, and let me tell you, it is a wonderful destroyer. It is one that provides such joy and happiness and just fun overall, and a reason to bring out that American Torp commander, Albert Gleaves. With our reviews, of course, we're going to go over our build, our commander, the stats, and then take a look at a game and mainly talk over the goods and the bads of the ship. So, with all of that said, let's go ahead and dive on in. First, let's open up with what will be the commander, and we already teased that, and that is Albert Gleaves. Gleaves is the American torpedo commander. I think you want to build this boat for torpedoes. This boat has very, very good torpedoes and average guns. Now, you could go Vincent Mordoff and then get like upper tier average guns and really good torpedoes, but I like speccing full bore into what a ship is absolutely best at, and that's why we are going with Gleaves and the torpedoes. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the build with Gleaves. Of course, his base trait is going to increase the range on the torpedoes. Inspirations that we're running are Eric Bay and William Sims. Bay is going to get that concealment. Sims is going to get that just little bit extra health that you'll need to kind of duke it out with the other destroyers. Then the rest of the skills that we are running are going to be Subsurface Venture, Look at Me Now, Perceptive, Smoke on the Water, and Unstoppable. Let's go ahead and take a look at the mods that we have running on the ship. In the first mod slot, we're going to be running Aiming System Mod 1. In the second slot, we are running Steering Gears. You could also do Prop Mod. I just like being able to turn the tail when I want to be able to turn the tail on the ship. Then we're running Concealment Mod, and then finally we are running the Torpedo Launchers Mod, and that is because we want those torpedoes to get reloaded as quick as possible because we want to be able to put out as many of them as possible. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at the consumables. Some very basic consumables. Damage Control Party is going to last for 5 seconds. It's going to reload in 40 seconds. Smoke Generator, it's going to, the duration on it's 29.7 seconds. Smoke dispersion time is 131.4 seconds. The reload time is 240 seconds, and we get 2 charges of it. And then finally, we have the prop mod, the engine boost, and that's going to boost your max speed by 8%. You're going to get 120 seconds, going to reload in 180 seconds, and you're going to get 2 consumables of it. And with all of that said, now let's go ahead and dive on in to the stats of the ship. And first things first, with Sommers at HP 19,960. That's why we're running Sims, to get a nice around 20,000. You'll really enjoy that because it means you can take a couple of hits and keep going. Armor thickness on the ship between 9 and 20 millimeters. As far as an armor thickness goes, well, we'll go ahead and take a look at that wonderful armor viewer. And guys, it's not that impressive. It's a destroyer. 19 millimeters pretty much everywhere, and then up in that superstructure you're looking at 13, and of course because it's a destroyer you're not seeing any sort of citadel. Final armor stat is going to be that torpedo reduction. Torpedo reduction is going to be 0% because it does not have a torpedo belt. Next, onto the main guns. 4 2-barreled 127 millimeter guns with a firing range of 10.9 kilometers. Reload time on them 6.6 seconds, giving you 73 shells per minute. 180 time on those guns 12.2 seconds. Not exactly the quickest, but absolutely serviceable. HE damage 1800, giving you 131,400 DPM with a 5% chance to set fire. But because you have so many guns, it does definitely feel a little bit more than that. AP 2100 damage, giving you 153,300 DPM when firing AP. Next, well, usually this is where we would talk about secondaries, but the ship doesn't have any secondaries, and when we get to AA, you'll see just how poor the AA is. But now the star of this ship is the torpedoes. 3 4-barreled 533 millimeter torpedoes with a reload time of 94.9 seconds, doing 17,900 damage. Detectability range on them 1.4 kilometers with a torque speed of 70 knots, which is like average, but it feels just so slow because of the range on them, which is 12.6 kilometers, yeah, you can just kind of almost cross map people with these. They are magic. Like, if you have people who are just sailing in straight lines, Somers is the ultimate threat. Next, on to AA. Range on it 3.1 kilometers with a minimum damage of 14 and a max of 22. I think this is one of the worst AA armaments in the game, especially up at this tier. Max speed of the vessel 38.6 knots with a turning radius of 620 meters and a rudder shift time of 3.1 seconds. Next, on to the concealment. Detectability by sea 5.6 kilometers, by air 3.1, and when firing in smoke 2.6. So those are the stats of the ship. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at a match in the Somers. Okay, guys, so here we are in the Somers, and we are on the map Atlantic. 3 destroyers on each side. We can see from the spawn, each kind of spawn set has its own dedicated destroyer. So we're going to go ahead and just head on out to sea because that's our closest cap. And we're just going to hope that our other fellow DDs kind of take care of the areas that are around them. Somers, as far as a ship goes, let me tell you, I am loving this thing right here. It is so much fun. The guns are decent where you don't feel like you're at too much of a deficit when you get in a gunfight with another destroyer. And the torpedoes are just stupid. They are just wonderfully great and magical just because of the range. Like right there, this is what you get with Somers is in these early opening parts of a match, you can just let go and you can say, okay, we're gonna try some long range torps because generally people aren't expecting torps this early in the match. So if we want, we can go ahead, kind of let them go. If they decide to sail on a straight line, which generally earlier in the match, people will end up sailing in straighter lines, then we can do a pretty good job. Anyways, enemy Somers pops up there. He pops up around the back of the island. He's firing AP. Good on him for trying out the AP, especially when we were broadside like that. That could have been a very good play for him, but fortunately we don't end up losing too much. But we're going to go ahead and sail out just in case he has some torps coming for us. We dump torps on the other side of the island just to see if he wants to sail in a straight line. Sadly for us, he does not want to sail in a straight line, and we find a nice new little port that we almost make contact with this rock. But anyways, we're kind of renegotiating. Mogami has already been slapped coming into sea, and if we're looking at the map overall, we're not in too good of a spot right now. Enemy team is capturing A, B, and C, so we need to kind of get on it. We go ahead, decide to push right back in. We know that Mogami is kind of curling up in that little corner over there, so it really is just going to be the Somers to kind of deal with, and we just have to kind of keep an eye on Mogami. If we can go ahead and find him, we see he has his plane up, trying to get a little bit of extra spotting out of him. We're just kind of trying to find the enemy Somers. Now, as far as concealment goes on Somers, it does do pretty decently. We, with our kind of slightly spec'd into concealment, not a full concealment build, we're down to 5.6 kilometers. I'm pretty sure you could get it down in the 5-ish range if you chose to build full concealment. But I think you're giving up too much to get full concealment in this, especially when Somers, I feel like it is much better played at like a medium-ish range. Because it has the long-range torps, because it has 8 guns, and something we didn't get to really talk about is the guns are surprisingly accurate even at range. And because your torpedoes and your guns kind of match ranges, in fact, your torpedoes outrange your guns, Somers feels like it is very comfortable not being a knife fighter, but instead being played as a medium range sort of destroyer. One that kind of sits in the medium ranges, fires its guns when it needs to, gets decent hits that way, but then also has the torps to back it up, kind of give out these wide spreads where you can go ahead and hit people if you need to. Anyways, enemy Somers pops up there, and now we get a nice little gunfight. He's still firing AP. We don't take too much damage from him there, and because of his AP adventure and our teammate Sportium, he ends up going down right there. We are now clear to cap C, which is what we need to. Our teammate in the other destroyer has started to cap B, which is exactly what we want. And now we have these two battleships kind of sitting out in open water for us, and that's exactly what we want. But we also have this Mogami who has very much just kind of huddled himself into this corner. Of course, the Japanese cruisers, one of their biggest defenses is their ability to maneuver and get out of the way of shells. Sticking yourself in a corner like this is not going to prove to it's not gonna go well for him. It just isn't. So anyways, we have this smoke cover. We know where he is. We know he's kind of wedged in there. We're gonna see if we can kind of sneak up on him. Of course, we have to be careful because we don't want to approach from the rear because he has rear firing torp angles. If we can approach from the front, we can get in, dump some torps, and just kind of dev strike and walk away, which is exactly what the plan is, especially because we do have this cover. C is now ours. We're now starting to accrue some points, and it's time to make what is essentially a somewhat slow YOLO run. And that's one of the things I want to note about Somers, is it doesn't feel too quick. 30-ish knots, 36, 37 knots. Really, when you're maneuvering, it feels more in the 33-ish range. The speed boost does definitely help when it gets you up past 40, which is very nice. We end up taking a hit right there. We lose steering. We start our turn. Beautifully wide torp angles on this ship. I don't know if you can see. You saw just how wide those torp angles can be. They are excellent. That is definitely one of the nice features. Anyways, Mogami is down, and now it is time. We see this Jean Bart is pushing up. He is 8 kilometers away. We go ahead, drop our torps, and now we can engage with our guns as we tap on the brakes and start engaging him as he is flat broadside to us. I think we throw a couple rounds of HE, but then we flip over to AP because a Jean Bart that is broadside, well, doesn't exactly have the armor to stand up to being hit broadside. 3K a salvo right there, which is absolutely beautiful. Look at the shell grooming. This is what I was talking about earlier. Like, this 8-kilometer engagement range is where Somers is really, really happy to sit. It is absolutely happy to sit in this kind of medium range, and just kind of hitting ships, taking little chunks out of them, and you're plenty accurate to hit the battleships to do some chip damage at those ranges. Anyways, Jean Bart is now taken care of, and well, we can go ahead and push ourselves into B. Right now, our team is down on points. We are matched on as far as caps go, and we are up in ships. So we are doing okay. Mogami's plane spots us there. We're a little worried that we may take some incoming fire, so we start doing the little wiggle. Brandenburg is the main battleship out there. He's playing it, I'm going to say, somewhat smart. He is making sure as to not engage us, or at least attempting not to, or making it so that we can't really hit him. Not really playing to the Brandenburg strengths, but I understand. He is now all alone without destroyer support with a very long-range torpedo destroyer in his presence. But we need to play for the match. We can see that the B cap is currently contested. We're going to keep an eye on this Brandenburg's path because, well, we do have the wonderfully long-range torp. So if we can get a torp run off, it would be a good idea for us. So we set off just 2 of the torps. We keep 1 in reserve just in case we come up with a knife fight in the cap, because we saw it was contested and we don't know where this enemy destroyer is fleeing to. Once we see the enemy destroyer's torpedoes kind of go by the wayside, we decide, okay, it's probably safe for us to dump that last set as a widespread towards the Brandenburg, maybe get a lucky hit. Now we are down in tide as far as ships go on each side, and we need to start capping B. We get into B, of course, us and the other destroyer are locating each other. Brandenburg, we're trying to see if we're going to get the hits on these torps. The torps hit like a truck when they do hit. We can see he's turning out. He's seen the torps, and well, we get 1 little tap right there, 2 little taps right there, and we do cause some flooding, though I don't think it is a permanent flood. Or is it a permanent flood? Or no, he's going down, I think. Anyways, Udachi pops up right there. We hit the Brandenburg with 1 last torp right there. He goes down. Udachi, kind of out and exposed right there, ends up disappearing in his smoke. Gets the incapacitation right there, and we're waiting on it. And we see our enemy, or our friendly, ends up finishing off the Udachi with the blind fire. We can see that our location scout is kind of saying, hey, there's another ship this way. Our torps are up and reloaded. We know there's a battleship in this direction. We're like, okay, perfect. We'll use the smoke as a way to conceal our way, get a little bit closer. Uh-oh, we are spotted. Uh-oh. What's coming through this smoke? Ooh, we take a big hit from the Richelieu right there. But of course, at this point, Richelieu's not the Jean Bart. He doesn't have a reload booster. We just need one set of torps to send him to the bottom right there. Bye-bye. We pick up the Confederate right there. And then we have the Akatsuki. Akatsuki doing some decent damage to us. And the thing we have to take into account is we do not have the health to really engage the Akatsuki anymore. But we're at 4 kills, and goddamn if we're going to try to go get that Kraken. Yes, the smarter play probably would have been to go to C, or maybe just kind of stay in a is it a fencing role? Just kind of guarding our 2 remaining battleships as far as making sure they don't get hit by any torps. But man, do we want to go for that Kraken. So we are going to push. Of course, we're probably going to be at a disadvantage here. Akatsuki is probably going to be built a little bit better for stealth than we are. So we do have to be extremely cautious because he will open fire on us and do probably some pretty good damage. But the good news is we are seeing he's kind of tracking at a steady pace away. So he's not looking to cap anything else, which is good. We can see we are spotted by him. Way out spotted. We juke this first shot. We take the second shot right there. Thankfully, our team does start engaging the Akatsuki. Of course, we are just going to have to burn our health in order for him to get hit. We go ahead, pop our smoke. It is too little, too late. He ends up taking us down. But we end up with 123,000 damage and a pretty fun game that does show off the Sommers. Overall, Sommers, I have been really, really enjoying the ship. It has been an absolute blast. And yeah, I can't wait to continue playing it through this update. It's a great ship. I definitely recommend picking up the campaign. But guys, if you like the video, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.